Jund has come together in a very different way compared to in the context of what you just mentioned, Once There Was a Lake and Algorithms. Both those works came out of a significant amount of time I spent on research and thinking and discussing, etc. This play has come in a very, very different way altogether. I would say it's almost like there was no time in a way. So I'll tell you about how this whole idea for the play came together, and then I think that might just give some things for us to also have a conversation. So sometime in the first week or the beginning of second week of September, Arundhati Nag from Rangashankara had messaged and said, we are trying to do the festival this time. We'd be interested to put up a Hindi play. And I was quite enjoying the online space, to be very honest, for a while. I was like, okay, online space is so new. Let's see what new things can come. But honestly, I was not at all in the middle of any project. I was very keen to make a play. And I was also waiting to get back to a physical space, So when the message came, I was very excited, but I said, give me some time because I need to think what, how, who, and all those things, because the time was really short. This was October end, and I had roughly about a month and a half to do this. And I felt, okay, this is an interesting challenge. Every time you have the leisure of time to research and do this and do that. This time you don't have that. So then let's jump into it. Let's see. But that's a new reality, right? We have the interesting period right now. Also, practically speaking, cases are quite low right now. Things seem to be coming back to normal. So it felt the right time to go back somewhere, for me also. And I had been wanting to. Now, two very different texts sort of inspired this piece of work. One from which I have also drawn heavily, and one from which I think the idea came together, I would say. So when I put the two texts together, I thought, okay, they are speaking to each other in my head. I don't know how, and that's something we'll figure out on the go. So last year, that is not last year actually, early this year, I was talking to 2021 is so mixed up. So late last year, October sometime, I was keen to put up a play, and I was very keen. I was trying to look for text, etc. And I was talking to Sunil Shankar. And there's this play, a Polish play, which is also one of the inspirations for this play. It's called Striptease by Sławomir Brozek. And I was talking to Sunil, and Sunil said, many years ago we did a Hindi translation of Striptease. And I said, what? Really? There's a Hindi translation? I only read the English one. I said, can you please share it with me? And Sunil is an archivist, I believe, and he has archives of everything. So Sunil said, let me go back and look. If I find the script, मैं भेजता हूँ. He sends me in, I think, 2 days time, he sends me a scanned copy of a handwritten translation of Striptease, which was done, I think, 25-30 years ago. Okay, 25 years ago, I think. Yeah, I don't know the exact time, but roughly around that time. And this is done by Ashok Mishra. Okay, and Ashok Mishra is a very well-known Hindi writer, he's a screenwriter, and he worked with Shyam Benegal. I didn't know, I knew of Ashok Mishra, but I had never read it. So Sunil mentioned that we are very good friends and, read this. I read it, and, there's something that we talk about language, right? Something about language and cerebral understanding and language and emotion. For the first time, I knew the play I read 4-5 years ago. I knew about the play. For the first time, I connected to the play emotionally. So, a lot of Western text, you understand it very intellectually. Also, okay, ye plot hai, ye character hai, everything. But connecting to it emotionally, because the language was so interestingly developed. And it was a proper translation of the original. So I read it and I was like, it's बहुत मजेदार है. And you know how it was, right? Everybody thought January early this year, everything was getting back to normal, and then things went back. And I was anyways not in a space to make anything. I said, I'll do something. Same around 3 or 4 years ago, I had read a short story called The Crowd by Ghanshyam Desai, who was a fairly well-known Gujarati short story writer. And Crowd is a very surreal kind of a short story. Also comes from a time when surrealism had started in a lot of Indian writing. It's the same time, 70s, 80s ki baat hai. I read the English translation of the short story in a Sahitya Academy journal. I used to subscribe to it many years ago. तो मेरे पास वो था, तो मैंने वो पढ़ा था, and like ये कहानी कितनी मजेदार है, इसके साथ कुछ करने में बहुत मजा आएगा. Now these two ideas are so differently situated in my head that there was nothing that I was thinking of. But when this whole thing happened, this whole memory came back that I wanted to do something with these two things. I was not keen to do it the way it was, because I knew that just by itself they had a very specific old world context also to it. Not that old world is not interesting, but I knew that the context is so specific that उसको अभी करेंगे तो सोच के करना पड़ेगा कि अभी के टाइम में उसका क्या इंटरप्रिटेशन हो सकता है. What do these things mean for us today? So then it so happened that I was very keen to explore the idea of inside and outside. That was the basic concept in my head when the whole festival got come. I was like, I'd been thinking that with COVID, my experience of inside outside was the most interesting if I have to look back right now. This whole idea of being indoors for the first lockdown, the second lockdown also, and the imagined fears of the outside. This was quite crazy, and how the imagined fears were building every day. And of course, there was real fear also, but then there were also so many other things that were happening that we were becoming paranoid. I thought even I was becoming paranoid to a certain extent. I know people who are becoming paranoid, and I know friends of mine who wake up and smell coffee every morning to make sure that they don't have COVID. And I was like, it's interesting how indoors we are safe in the context of whatever that means, but fears can travel. I mean, you can't stop fears by closing the door, right? And how do fears travel? So I think I realized a lot was being told us through phones. A lot of information coming to us, how we process. Even simple things like you speak to a friend and you say, the cases have increased in our city. You know how many cases in your city, how many deaths in your city. We were speaking in numbers so much that it felt like as though this tragedy is now become information, and at one point it also felt like you were living a satire, you're living a farce, you're living you don't need to be absurd anymore. You just do the normal and it becomes absurd. I used to go cycling after the lockdown and I would put my mask down if I didn't see anybody. I would see someone really far walking and I would put my mask up. So I'll be like, wo to bahut dur hai. Why have I done this? Like sometimes I used to really question my own things. Like, I said, okay, fine, safety is there, but what kind of authority have I given is controlling me from inside, And striptease is a lot about authority. The play is all about two people caught up in a room, and the premise is that, and then there is this whole presence of an authority, etc. And how you succumb to the authority and all of that. And I felt that authority in our times is very internalized. You don't need someone to knock on your doors and say you do this. You internalize authority. So I was like, COVID, we internalize authority like nobody's business. We kept on internalizing it. Like, acha theek hai, we have to wash our hands for 20 seconds. There was a time initially when I know that people were counting 20 seconds, while they were washing hands. Now, I'm just saying now, if you see from a medical point of view, you said, of course, we should do it to keep yourself safe. But then when I see the sociological understanding of what this does to our everyday, in a way, I find it very absurd also. And suddenly it's very interesting now that cases have gone down, people don't wash hands for 20 seconds. We don't wear masks for we don't get so scared because we have 2 shots of vaccine. How these things are now changing somewhere. So anyways, to be very honest, I cut the whole thing, cut to the point of this thing that When I reached here, I said, now how do I put all these things together? Crowd, the short story, is about a character. It's written from a first person point of view of this person who observes a crowd taking different shapes in front of him. And at one point, he becomes a part of the crowd, you know, and becomes a part of the crowd, and then the crowd changes shapes, and it's very surreal. The crowd starts taking shapes of animals and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, what if the outside is this absurd? What if the outside is so absurd that you can't ever put your finger on it and say this is what it is? And what if the inside is safe? And how we perceive the outside is told to us in a very controlled manner when we are inside. So then these ideas started coming together, and I said, okay, let me put these two as inspiration.